Off with a quick opening statement, and then please raise your hand, and I will call on you guys for questions. Coach, if you could start us off, please.
Okay, Zach, thanks. First of all, good to see everyone. Looking forward to a great challenge and a great opportunity Saturday at 3:30, playing the number 7th ranked team in the country. If there's a word that describes them, I would say complete. Complete in all three phases. They have depth. Can go very deep into depth in all three phases, sometimes even rotate 3 different units on defense. Obviously, we know about the running backs, the number of running backs that they play. I think one of the biggest improvements in their football program has been their offensive front. Been very impressed with their offensive line, and again, very deserving of being the 7th ranked team in the country. Great challenge, but also I know our players are looking forward to the great opportunity. It all starts in preparation. If you look at kind of the past history of these games, they've usually come down to the final possession. And so again, having that mindset, whatever it takes to win the football game, it's going to be a very physical football game. And again, looking forward to it on Saturday. So I'll answer any questions y'all may have.
Blake? Coach, after reviewing the film, what was your evaluation of the 2 quarterbacks, and then also, do you have any update on Shy Tuttle and Deshaun Robinson?
I think there's a lot more pressing topics to the quarterback conversation. I think that's just something that is kind of the average person just looks at it and says, okay, the quarterbacks. And you look at Quentin, he was 5 out of 8 in the first quarter and 14 out of 19 in the first half. Play of the quarterbacks are a byproduct of everyone around them. We always talk about it. They get too much praise when things go well and too much blame when things don't go well. But that's all part of playing quarterback. I thought Quentin did some very good things. Again, every game, whether it's Jared or whether it's Quentin, is a learning experience. We were able to get Jared 11 snaps, which were invaluable in his growth and development as well. And they were in some stressful situations as well. So I think, they'll continue to get better. But again, they're a byproduct of everyone. We have our first 3rd and 3, and it looks like Quentin's holding on to the football. Well, we go too deep on the route, and it's right there. So again, there's a lot of things that go into the quarterback play, and a lot of it is dictated of, the individuals around them. But some things we have to continue to improve on that will work. But for the most part, I was pleased, and again, getting Jarrett those 11 reps was invaluable as well. But we got to be able to run the football. Make no mistake about it. We cannot be a one-dimensional football team, and we're not built that way. We have to have great balance, and when you can't run the football, you're going to be behind a little bit. If you really look at the storylines of the game, it was 2nd and 14, 2nd and 15. 2nd and 12, we were never ahead of the sticks, and you're not going to have much success if you're not ahead of the sticks and staying on schedule with the 4 yards and the 4-yard efficiency that we speak about all the time.
David?
Just to reiterate his second question on Deshaun and Shy, what's their status?
We fully anticipate them to be ready to go. We anticipate just about everyone ready to go. I'll know more as the week progresses, but we expect that they'll be ready to go for this game.
And my question was just, you talked a lot about the need for passion and energy on Saturday. Has the lack of that, was that just kind of an isolated one-game thing, or has that been a reoccurring issue?
That's a good question. And, we talk about the different things that make up the structure of our football program. Little things that maybe nobody really sees until they're not there. Things that embody our football program, and it starts first and foremost with energy and passion. And I thought it was very lackluster. I thought it was, and we had some players now that played with some energy and some passion, so it's not everyone, but it's what I spoke about post game. It has been an isolated incident. I think we've showed some passion and some energy in the other games, but that's something that we will not tolerate. We will not go backwards with that, and we'll address that situation. And you can make a lot of excuses for it, but there is no excuses for lack of passion and energy. And like I said, it's for a lot of these individuals, they're younger players, their first year in the program, and You know, they're going through a lot, and they got to understand you may not be playing much, but you can help the team win one way, shape, form, or another. If you're not on the field, give them some energy, feed off, stay into the game. All those things, you can impact the game regardless if you're on the field or not. You can impact it in your own way. And that's something that we'll talk with. I'm going to meet with our freshmen today at 2 and make sure they understand, again, the standards and expectations in our program as well.
Brent Austin, Patrick Murray.
Butch, you talked about balance in your offense. You can't be one-dimensional. Within the run game, do you need to be more multi-dimensional, meaning your quarterback needs to run the football more? Are you compensating that in other ways? Does he have the read and the ability to keep it anytime? Where are you with your zone read stuff with your quarterbacks?
Yes, that's in. I think it's evolving. But again, like we spoke about last week, is there's so many ways to involve the quarterback. It may be with RPOs. He does have a read attached to it. He has a key read attached to it, whether it's the zone read or whether it's an RPO. So yes, and again, sometimes he has to keep the football, and there was a couple times where we felt he should have kept the football. And it's an assignment. It's just like going through your pass progressions. There's also a read progression as well.
Austin.
Butch, after you got back and watched the film, thoughts on Shaq Wiggins' play, and then just update us on Evan Berry.
Yeah, I was really pleased with Shaq. I thought, Shaq had a whole different mindset and determination starting last Monday. I liked the way his approach to practice. He was extremely competitive, and he approached every day like it was game day. And that's how you improve, and that's how you get on the football field, is through your week of preparation. And I thought it showed when he had his opportunity in the game. He was very, very decisive. I think he showed a skill set in terms of his feet, his quickness, and we're going to continue to need that moving forward. But I was really, really pleased with the play of Shaq. Now, what was your other question?
Evan Berry.
Evan Berry still will be out this game.
Patrick Murray.
Butch, way back here, with the protests in the NFL yesterday kind of escalating, have you talked with your team about that at all? And do they have an outlet to express themselves if they feel like they want to?
Well, today will be the first day back with our entire football team, and we always discuss current topics with our football team, and we'll discuss it. And yes, they do have an avenue, and plus, as y'all know me by now, I always have an open door policy, and they're free to come by no matter what time of day it is. So that's something that we will discuss briefly as a football team.
Patrick Brown, Rob Lewis.
Butch, is there a reason why Juwan Jennings has not been on the sideline the past 2 home games? How much has he been around the team since he got hurt?
You guys look for everything. I think you're running a reality TV show that feeds off of drama. He's in the building every day. He is doing a great job with recovery. I think we all know Juwan. Juwan is an extremely competitive young man, and it absolutely bothers him being on the sideline because he feels he can't help the football team. And that's his makeup. And again, he's doing everything that he needs to do. He's doing a good job in class. He's getting the recovery that he needs, the rehab that he needs. And again, that's his decision. I don't want him to be on the sideline and kind of make it worse in terms of it's bothering him right now that he feels he can't help the football team. And you say, well, I know his presence maybe be able to help them. But again, the way he's wired, he wants to go out there and do it. And knowing Juwan, I'd be afraid that he'd run on the field regardless and try to play. But Juwan's doing everything that he can to get back.
Rob Lewis.
Coach, that was the most extensive time Daniel Batuli and Corte Sapp have gotten since they've been here. Just how did you evaluate their play linebacker?
Again, typical of our young football team, they're evolving. I thought they did some really good things, some things that we need to get corrected in a hurry going into the Georgia game. The big thing they're learning is the art of communication and getting us lined up right. There was way too many times on Saturday that we were misaligned in terms of setting the front. And again, that's just through game repetitions and the speed of the game and quick decisions and being able to ID, you know, the offensive set and all that, but in terms from a physical standpoint, I was very pleased. I thought they made progress. They'll continue to get a lot of reps, but I think it just comes down to just communication. And again, we talk about football's too hard, and the number one thing you can't do is beat yourself. And you can't put yourself behind or beat yourself just with a missed alignment. That's inexcusable, and that's something that they take great pride in and will continue to work on. But as we continue to evolve and grow and get the game repetitions, we can't make the same mistakes. But I was pleased with the way they played.
Ryan, Steve, Jesse. Ryan, just say it.
Tyler Bird, it looked like you got him a little more involved in the game plan. How did he play, and are you still looking for ways to get him involved? And then Sapp and Matuli, how they play a linebacker. And those guys got the start, but you mixed in some different combinations there.
He just asked that question.
Sorry about that.
That's right. I was pleased with Sapp and Batuli. Again, it comes down to communication. In terms of Tyler Bird, getting him involved, it was great to see. He ran a really good route on the goal line, on the corner route. We were able to formationally put him in a matchup that was favorable versus a linebacker, and Quentin did a good job of putting the ball where it needs to be, and kind of, you know, everything has a strike area and strike points that we talk about, a reception area, and that was great that he put the ball where it needed to be. Our offensive line did a good job of protecting, but getting him involved, we're going to need more of that. And again, it's just consistency day in and day out in practice, but also from assignments and all that, and it was great to get Tyler involved.
Steve?
I know UMass has struggled with pass protection all year, but to get 7 sacks, what different did you see from your pass rush Saturday, and how critical is that facet of the game going to be against Georgia with freshman quarterback?
First of all, I was really pleased with the continuing improvement of Kyle Phillips. I think Kyle Phillips is getting better and better each and every game, and you know, the ability to basically go from run to pass to run, all those things of a get off of a defensive line and being able to convert your technique. So again, I thought Kyle Phillips was able to do some things. I thought I thought Jonathan did some good things as well. I thought he continued to improve. But I thought particularly towards the tail end of the game, we were able to change the line of scrimmage. I just think it was a relentless approach of guys getting off. I think it all starts with your get off and the use of your hands, and then the ability to decipher whether it's run or pass. And obviously we're going to play against a very, very talented and physical Georgia offensive line, but I just think the relentless approach, you know, that group has done a really good job. They're one of the stronger leadership groups on our football team in terms of standards and expectations. And I think also, you know, it's all 4 of those individuals working together. Very rarely do you just in college football just flat out beat an individual on a sack. There's a lot of things that we call opportunity sacks. And you may get a sack, and it may be the 1 technique or the 3 technique, being able to push the pocket, and now all of a sudden that forces the quarterback to have to escape to his left or right, or push the pocket. You can condense it and get your sack. So a lot of times there's team sacks. Also, I thought there was a couple times where there was the secondary did a great job in man coverage of staying on their individuals, and so again, it was also a coverage sack as well.
Jesse?
Butch, you wanted to reserve judgment. Thank you. You wanted to reserve judgment on the offensive line until you had seen the film. Where do you feel like the continuity is with that group right now, and kind of specifically, what do you guys plan to move forward at left guard?
We'll continue to compete, but we have to get better. There's no hiding behind it. We have to be able to run the football. We spoke about that when the conference started. We have to be balanced. I thought we did a good job of protecting the quarterback and not giving up hits on the quarterback, but we have to be able to run the football. And there's so much of continuity and consistency and working together, and it starts in practice. It starts with the ability to communicate, whether it's a line twist or what have you. But again, we have to get better, and we have to get better in a hurry. And those individuals know that. They've already watched the video. A number of them have already texted me, come to see me. They understand that. And, you know, when you have an opportunity to play, you put your identity on video. And the good thing is we can go in today, correct, but they understand, and they understand what it's going to take to consistently run the football in this conference. But I expect them to have a very, very good week of preparation.
And just as a follow-up, the health of the tight ends, I know a couple of those guys went out on Saturday.
Yeah, ongoing. I'll know a little bit more later in the week, and you know that's the other nuances of the game is we are out of a number of personnel groupings towards the end of the game where we thought we had some formational advantages to be able to run the football. And I'll know a little bit more of their status. I'm expecting they're all going to play, but I'll know a little bit more later in the week.
Last couple, Mike and Jimmy.
Yeah, I was going to ask about the tight ends, but I guess I'd follow up with just this underdog status in your own stadium. I mean, I can't remember the last time you were this much of an underdog to Georgia Neyland Stadium. How does that play out? How do you keep your guys' confidence when nobody thinks you?
Well, you're the first one that just told me that, so I don't pay much attention to any of that. We're responsible for what we create on a daily basis with our preparation, getting ready to play a very, very talented football team that's going to take all of our effort and all of our energy to focus on the task at hand and work to win each and every single day. So I don't pay much attention to that.
Last question, Jimmy.
Butch, did Shot Tuttle's injury occur in an incident with a teammate?
No, this was Jimmy. I said Jimmy.
He handed me the mic.
I said Jimmy. Jimmy gets the last question.
Was Shot Tuttle's injury related to a teammate causing him to be injured?
Well, I'll tell you this, football is an emotional game, it's a competitive game. The injury was caused not by a teammate. He landed on a helmet, and that's the truth. And I think we have to understand, what do we want out of our media? It's this place with the drama. And again, these are kids, and I think we all have children, and we're all adults. And are we focused on Tennessee football from a recruiting standpoint, from all the positive things we've done, from all the positive things this football program brings to the community, this great fan base? Are we in the reality world of TV? And I think all of us as human beings have to self-check ourselves. And you may not like that answer, but I'm a father. I have 3 boys. And I think we sometimes got to put ourselves in the role of a parent as well. And I understand we all have jobs to do. My expectation as a head football coach, I'm the caretaker of Tennessee football. I'm here to develop and grow a football program, recruit the best possible student athletes to represent the University of Tennessee, and win football games and graduate our players. That's my responsibility. I take that very seriously. But also, I love our kids, and I'm going to protect our players, and I'm going to protect our program. And sometimes the negativity is overwhelming. And if everyone is Vol fans, how do we let our opponents use this in the recruiting process with fake news? And sometimes, again, we have to check ourselves. What are we here for? What's our values and principles that guide our life every single day? And I appreciate everyone in this room. You guys have a job to do, and I'm respectful of that. And I'm friends with a lot of you guys in the room, and I appreciate it. But also, there comes a certain time where enough is enough. So thank you. You guys have a great day. I look forward to seeing you on Wednesday. Go Vols.